Okay, so let's go and set up the master ID selector first. This guy, of course, is holding the entire content down inside the body area of our layout, of our HTML page there. Very much, or actually exactly like it was doing in the previous chapter there. And just like we did in the previous chapter, what I want to do is I want to center align the entire layout. So we'll do that in a second. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to specify a width for the master. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to specify a pixel value, a fixed pixel value. In the previous chapter with the combo layout, we had a percentage. I think we used 90%. And I forgot to mention in that chapter, sorry to digress, you can actually change that percentage from 90%, which is what we used, to 80% or 75% or whatever you want. And it's going to, again, compress or expand the layout. But here we're going for a fixed pixel width, 960. Now, 960 pixels is the maximum width that we would want to design inside. If you are coming from the print world or if you have print world experience, you can think of 960 as the width of the paper that you're designing for, right? So that's what we're going to go for. By the way, 960 is the maximum width that we'd want to use for a monitor resolution of 1024 by 768. It's all about monitor resolutions, right? So that's what we're shooting for here. And some people go a little bit higher. For a while, I was using 990. That's typically fine as well, but I'm being a little bit more conservative these days. Now for the centering, I'm going to use do you remember this margin trick? I'm going to go margin and then 0 pix and auto, if I could spell auto. There we go. So 0 px and auto. That's going to center our layout. If you want, you can take a quick look at the browser. There we go. Now everything is centered inside the layout. And I think I will go and set up my header now. Is that cool? I mean, the master is pretty straightforward, right? All right, the header. Here we go. I think what I'll do to start off, I want to see my header, so I'm going to set a background color of, I'll stick with what I was using before, the CCC. And I'm going to throw a border on this fella. I'm going to use a lot of the same stuff that we have already seen. Nothing like consistency, right? There we go, something like that. And I'm also going to set a height on this fella of 100 pixels. And I'm going to set, actually, you know what? I'm going to set one more item, but I'll show you that in just a sec. You might want to go and check out your layout there. There we go. There's our header block, or our header layout block. And then, of course, inside this header block, well, actually, you could do a number of different things inside this header block. I could insert a graphic that is exactly, so say inside Photoshop, I create a brand new document that's 960 pixels by 100 pixels, and then I drop that header graphic into this div, fits in perfectly, and off we go, right? Or what I could do is I could nest some divs inside the header div. Maybe I'm going to have a search field, or maybe I'm going to have a nav menu across the top of my layout. I would basically take what we've done here, or what we've started to do here, and extrapolate it out. So inside the header, I'd go and insert another div for, again, maybe that search field, or something like this. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. Okay, I said that there was one more property that I wanted to throw onto the header, and that is simply margin bottom, because I want to create a gap of space between the bottom edge of the header and the rest of the layout. Just a small space, a small gap of space, 5 pixels there. That's all I'm using. So, alrighty, so that's pretty good. We're off to a good start. We obviously have to finish off the menu and the content area and the footer. And of course, all of that is coming up next.